Hello, and welcome to this presentation on my final project for Info 244. For this project, I created a tutorial on NoveList K-8 Plus for School Librarians. For those of you who are not familiar with this EBSCO database, NoveList K-8 Plus is a trusted source of reading recommendations designed specifically for those who work with young readers, from preschoolers all the way through middle schoolers. The core mission of all NoveList databases is to connect readers with great books. The coverage of the database is vast, with expert recommendations, reading lists, read-alike suggestions, award winner lists, professional reviews, reader reviews, curricular guides, and so much more. It really gathers everything you need to know about books for youth in one place. As such, NoveList is a fantastic tool for readers' advisory, as well as for supporting classroom teachers in their selection of texts and read-alouds. Given that my school district just recently subscribed to NoveList, I thought that it would be a good idea to develop an online tutorial to help librarians use the system efficiently and effectively. As a librarian working at the school board level, I designed this tutorial with professional school librarians and teachers in mind, particularly those working in elementary and middle schools. I position this tutorial on the advanced end of a series of tutorials, and as such assume that viewers have either explored NoveList on their own or have gone through some of the more basic level tutorials. Since I'm dealing with a more advanced audience, I don't always define basic terms in the tutorial, such as Boolean operators or field searching. Part of my role at the school board is to cater to the professional development needs of school librarians in the district. As such, I want to make sure that they knew enough about the system to be able to use it, and to use it effectively. We all know that if stats do not reflect high levels of use after a given amount of time, the subscription will not be renewed. In order to get librarians on board and continue to use the system, they need to be getting the results they want, and to do that, they need some advanced skills. I also wanted to sneak in a few other concepts. I saw this as a good opportunity to remind librarians of some of those great tools we should all have in our searchers' toolkits. Librarians in elementary schools, and to a lesser extent those in middle schools, can go long periods without using any type of sophisticated database. The databases available for young children are often set up more for browsing, and any searching that is done is at a very basic level. So, in addition to providing training on NoveList, this also seemed like a great time to activate some of those potentially rusty search skills. Something that I hear often from school librarians is that it can be quite challenging to find books well suited to story time or for meeting the needs of individual students by just using the online catalog. The online catalog, a part of which is shown here, allows users to search by keyword, author, title, subject, and series. But librarians have expressed a need for a more nuanced way of searching. Even from the back end, they can't do much more than what's shown here. To demonstrate this need, consider the two books shown here. They can both be found through a subject search for cats or kittens and night. Even without opening these books, you can probably see that these are very different types of picture books, even if they share major subject headings. One is a quiet, tender story, perfect for creating a calm atmosphere, while the other is energetic and colorful, and just begs for children to participate in the reading and start singing. These two books would therefore serve very different purposes during story time, or in the classroom, and would likely be of interest to very different types of readers. Given this need to better distinguish between books, I chose to focus the first part of the tutorial on appeal terms in NoveList. Then, in order to help librarians maximize their use of the system and be able to execute complex searches, I focused on field code searching in the second part of the tutorial. I began the tutorial with an overview of how NoveList uses story elements and appeal terms to help users get at the feel, mood, and style of a book. It's critical for users to understand these elements in order to obtain the best possible results from a search. Story elements refer to aspects of a book such as tone, pacing, writing style, illustrations, storyline, characters, and so on. NoveList assigns appeal terms to each of these story elements for every book in its database. Whether a student likes funny, fast-paced mysteries, or a teacher is looking for a tender story with spare text for a storytime session, the appeal language in NoveList helps librarians identify exactly those books that will best meet anyone's reading needs. I've provided a few other examples here too. For instance, some books might be indexed as having a funny tone. Others have big and bold illustrations. A book might have an attention-grabbing writing style, or may include culturally diverse characters. These terms can tell us a lot about a book before we've even read it. Each year, NoveList updates its guide to using appeal terms in searches. The guide, The Secret Language of Books, is almost a book unto itself and defines each term and the age groups to which it can apply. It is an indispensable tool when searching NoveList. The second part of the tutorial focused on the use of field code searching and of building up a search using field codes, appeal terms, and Boolean operators. I reviewed how to use the two-letter field codes in NoveList, how to identify relevant appeal terms, and then how to combine these using Boolean operators. We went from a search task, find some fun, non-fiction books, no ooh or gross factor, with cartoon-style illustrations, ideal for a first-grade storytime session. The resulting search statement is shown here. You can see that it's made up of field codes, appeal terms, and Boolean operators. It's very much like command line searching in ProQuest Dialog, except that some limiters, in this case for age and nonfiction books, must be applied after the search has been run. The last part of the tutorial highlighted the difference between field code searching and using the advanced search page, and emphasized the order of operations in NoveList, as well as the need for parentheses when conducting complex searches. I have not yet had a chance to test the tutorial with any of the librarians or teachers in my district. My plan is to first listen to any feedback I receive from my peers in Info 244, as well as to feedback from Vicky, and then make changes and improvements to the tutorial. I'll then ask the librarian, technician, and perhaps one or two teachers at one school site to view the tutorial as well as complete a pre- and post test to help assess how their knowledge has progressed as a result of the training. This test will include a few written questions as well as a few demo searches. This should help me identify any gaps in understanding. I can then work with these individuals to further improve the tutorial. Once finalized, this tutorial, along with others, will be posted on the board site in the teacher section of the virtual library, right here. This section is dedicated to training resources for teachers and professionals. Of course, just posting it will not be enough. I'll need to promote its existence through the use of the board's social media accounts, emails to target professionals, as well as at conferences and PED Day workshops. I have thoroughly enjoyed developing this tutorial, but I must say that the process has left me quite humbled. Designing and recording a video tutorial is not easy. It takes a lot of time and effort. Kudos to all of you who do this on a regular basis. Please let me know what you think of the tutorial and of this presentation. Any and all comments and suggestions are welcome. This last page includes a list of those resources I used in developing the content for the tutorial. Thank you for listening, and happy holidays to you all.